All right, everybody probably knows me by now. My name is Logan. Do air conditioning, heating, pretty much anything that relates to that, ductwork, cleaning, anything like that. So head right up, we'll get to that later. Myself and my wife, Sarah, that's when we were on vacation up in Michigan. That's where I grew up. Dog, a big part of the life. No kids, just a dog. So spend a lot of time with him and the horses. So we have 2 at home right now. I'm actually going to pick up the 3rd one today to bring him back home. And one of the biggest things that got me to where I am now is I was a cheerleader at Tarleton. I graduated from school up in Michigan, and I decided to go to grad school down here, and I never would have done it otherwise. Never thought that I would be doing grad school. Didn't really want to go to college in the first place. So, it's crazy how life takes you in places. But I ended up, this is down here. This is where Grand Valley State University is where I went in Michigan. We got to run the flags out in front of the football team. That was probably one of the more exciting parts of the game day experience. Did the same thing at Tarleton. And then that led me to working and cheerleading at Maverick All-Star Tumblers in Weatherford. I worked there for about 3 years after I got out of college at Tarleton, and that's where I met Nate, business partner. So he was actually a gymnastics coach there. So basically, anything I can get my hands on, I'll take it apart, and I'll try to put it back together. Most of the time, I'm pretty good at that. So, and then the other picture up there was the town that I grew up in. So, we are a small company. We just started. We've been kind of trying to form an identity and try to figure out exactly what makes us different, why we are doing what we're doing. The things that stay pretty consistent with Nate and I is that we want to take care of the customer first. That's tried and true, never really fails. Believe in the technician, trust the build something with the customer. I always say persistence and patience are kind of keys to being an HVAC technician, and that's more on the technical side, but it also leads to the customer validating the problem. A lot of guys will go in and tell people they don't really have a problem. There's nothing wrong. But you got to validate, make sure that the customer understands that we understand that they think something's wrong and we need to solve that problem, whether it's their understanding of the problem or if there really is a problem fixing it. So that's a big part of that gap that falls normal. When I see people that are really frustrated with the HVAC company is that they say, I have a problem. Nobody really wants to take them seriously and try to fix it. So whatever we can do to make that happen, and then that going with that, creating the atmosphere where we're doing it for them, not the other way around. I've seen that too many times where people go in and try to strong arm people into things that they think they need, where in reality it's what the customer needs, not what I need. It's not about how the money I'm making, is about making sure that they're comfortable in their home or their business or wherever it might be. And then understanding the trade, continue learning, transferring those skills, like I said, kind of being able to transfer that to the customer. So there isn't that gap between what I know and what they know and what they understand. So the expectation is beyond we want to set the standard a little bit higher than at least what I've experienced from other companies that I've worked at. So like I said, investing in the customer, creating and retaining relationships. So I don't want to go to somebody's house once and take all their money. I'd like to go to their house, create a relationship, and make sure they're comfortable with me first, make sure that we're solving the problem that's at hand, and creating a long-term relationship that will benefit both parties over a long term. There we go. Said it enough times. A lot, again, I work for one of the big companies in one of the big giant companies in town, and they had a lot of lip service about creating that long-term relationship. They wanted club memberships, they wanted to get back in the house, but reality was they just wanted to get back in the house and they can sell more stuff. I really don't believe in that. I want to, like I said, solve the problem, add value, and not really, spend all your money. I don't want to do that. That's not why I'm doing this. I like, just a little bit, a little bit over a long period of time, not all of it all at once, and then lose that relationship. Because, like I said, it's your home. I want you to feel comfortable with it, and that big part of that is how I treat that first and second and third, all the way through how I treat you when I walk in. We want to offer new things with industry-specific practices, so making sure that we're doing everything the way it's supposed to be and up to date with the newer stuff that's coming out. We've got new refrigerants, new types of equipment, all that kind of stuff. So we want to make sure that we're staying on top of that stuff and not getting stuck in I'm not doing this because that's not what I know. There's a lot of trades that they get stuck in that. They get stuck in what they learned from the very beginning, and they won't change for the life of you. So, a lot of newer stuff that's coming out, inverter technology, multi-stage, variable speed equipment, very efficient, saves money on your electric bills, makes it more comfortable in the house, keeps that temperature very constant across the board instead of, I'm sure everybody here remembers when they were kids, that temperature in the house was this big swerving thing where it was like 2 degrees hotter, 2 degrees colder. The technology now keeps it so that if you set it at 70, it's going to stay 70. And it's never going to really vary from that unless there's something wrong. So that, and then a lot of the indoor air quality solutions that are coming around that are different than they were 20, even 10 years ago at this point, that allow for fresh air and other things that come into the house. Inside the house is actually worse air for you than outside, which is generally the case. We live in a box full of chemicals. That's how everything stays the same color for as long as it does. So the green wall stays green for a very long time because chemicals. And that's and the houses are being built tighter and further together, or tighter. The envelopes are almost impregnable at this point. They're doing spray foam, which will absolutely keep any outside air from coming in. So we have to find those ways to make the house breathe and give you quality air to breathe in the house, especially if you're looking at allergies or breathing, respiratory stuff. So if we're not taking care of that, then it will become a problem long term. And I feel like we should change. I feel like that's been 2 minutes, hasn't it? Yeah. Something didn't change. I just talked way too long. That's all right. This one's pretty quick. So here are some things that I've come across. I went through all my photos, and this is just the highlights that I found while scrolling through. We can see, filters here in the corner. This one, you can tell that there was a round circle on the other side. That's how long it's been there. It was actually sucked up and made a circle cone. Dryer vents, that's another thing that we clean. That's a pile of dryer lint that came out of the dryer vent. So if you have a dryer or know somebody that has a dryer vent that was up and out of the house, very important that we get that taken care of, because it does not take long for that to happen, especially in some setups. That is not atypical to see that after 5 years or so to have that much buildup. These are ductwork that eventually we ended up cleaning. You can see the chunks in the bottom of this one, so that's fun. Electrical wiring that gets messed up, outside condenser, all that kind of stuff. And then the frozen coil. Frank knows what that looks like. This one is about half as frozen as his was when I showed up that one day. So things that we can do to prevent those pictures. Seasonal maintenance, just allowing somebody to get their eyes on your system. It's not even so much that I have to go in and test all of the things, even though I do that when I come to do the seasonal maintenance. A lot of times, just listening and looking and smelling, I can see or hear something that isn't right. and you can too. I mean, that's, I had that in here and I took it out. But if you hear something that doesn't sound normal, if you smell something that doesn't smell normal, the smells are more difficult. I'll tell you I smell it, but I probably don't. Because I don't know what your house smelled like the first time. I get that a lot. Smell calls are very difficult. But if it's a burning or a very obvious smell, then we want to get that taken care of immediately, because resetting the breakers, turning off the system does not fix the system. Even if it comes back on and you think it's working, something is not right. As soon as you realize there's an issue, you need to call and get it looked at, because it will not fix itself. It will not get better. It will just continue to be broken. Changing filters regularly, cleaning condenser on the outside unit, get that hose out, wash it off, flushing and treating your drain lines so we don't have backed up drain lines, we don't have water damage in the house. And then set the call for service, changing filters. It's not a time-based situation. It is when the filter is dirty, and that is it. All right, and Merry Christmas.
Hey.